I need one more Marshall from race number 7. All right, we got a volunteer. Thank you very much. All right, track is open. Track is open. Start taking laps.
Ryan Hahn. David Recruiter.
All right, let's get them rolling, get them rolling. Race will go live in less than 5. There's the tone, there's the tone. We got Scarlett and Ryan crossing the line first. There goes David. All 3 cars are going across the line. Ooh, David gonna get it a little bit wrong in the infield. Gonna get squirrely turned around. Ryan Hahn putting down some clean laps. He is gonna be leading this one off. He's on a 39.402 pace. David in that 2 spot. They are racing together on a track. It is turning into a derby out there. $45 seconds down, 3:15 left to go. Your leader, Ryan Hahn. He's in that dark blue chrome wheels going down the front stretch now. Going to be crossing the line with a 6.3 second lap. David in that 2 spot. He's in that dark blue pink number 28. In the 3 spot, we got Scarlett. She's driving that pink and black chrome wheels coming across the line now. We are 1:30 down, 2:30 left to go. Ryan Hahn keeping it clean out there. 6.6 that time by. His hot lap is a 5.6. David has a hot lap of a 6.4. Ryan's on a 35.402. David on a 24.401. We are halfway down. 2 minutes down, 2 minutes left to go.
2 minutes left.
Your leader working his 18th lap around. He's on a 36 lap pace. David in that 2 spot. Scarlett running around in that 3rd. 2:30 down, 1:30 left to go. Ryan down the front, crossing the line, coming up on David. David going to slide out. Ryan going to go right around him. Oh, stuck on the back wall. Running all the way across the track, and she marshals herself. 3 minutes down, 1 minute left to go. Your leader, 36 and a 4 flat is his lap pace. Now bumping it up to a 37 lap pace. Just ran a 5.9 that last time. Goes around the track again, a 6.3. This time by 6.3 again. He is working a pretty big gap back to David and Scarlett going around in that third spot. We are working our final 15 seconds. Your leader is going to go by 3 more times.
Ryan Hahn done.
All right, that is the end of the race. End of the race.
All drivers are
Pull the
finished.
cars off the
The
track.
race is completed.
All right. I need Ryan and David out there to marshal. I'm going to need 2 volunteers. Right. Thank you, Louie. I need 1 more volunteer. 1 more to come out and help us. Awesome. Thank you. Track is open. Track is open.
Dan Stewart. Eric Mason. Ryan Hill. Keith Titchener.
All right. Can we shut it down for 1 second? Shut it down. Shut it down. Let me get my marshal to his spot. All right. You guys are open. All right, we are ready to get this one live. This is heat 1 of 2, Buggy Street Stock. 4 guys in this one, 3 in the next. We will go live in less than 5. Dan, Eric, Keith, Brian, all 4 cars checked and rolling. Everyone throwing down their first laps. Oh, caution on the back. Caution on the back. It is clear. 1 car crashed. 2 others getting caught up in it. That's going to slow everyone down. Dan Stewart out front. He's got Brian Hill in that second spot. The only car not to get caught in that crash. Keith in the 3. Eric in the 4. We are 45 seconds down, 3:15 to go. Dan Stewart on a 53.4 flat. Brian, 51.404. They are 2 seconds apart. 2.6 that time by. Keith Titchener in the 3. Now 3 seconds behind Brian. Eric in the 4. 1 minute down, 3 left to go. You're a leader. Going to be in that all blue white stripe, number 26. Light blue, white wheels. Down the front stretch now, number 26. Dan Stewart, 54 and a 401 is his pace. Brian Hill in the 2, going to throw down his own hot lap, a 4.5. Dan Stewart with a 4.2. Brian in the 2 spot, Keith in the 3. That is your running order. 130 down, 230 to go. Light blue, white, and red trim. Getting caught on a little crash from Brian. Brian with a crash, getting Keith a little bit closer to his position. Brian is now 10 seconds behind our leader. Keith, 1.2 behind Brian. That is your gap for the second place position. Dan Stewart out front with 2 minutes down, 2 minutes to go. Oh, those two cars battling for second place. Gonna drive them into the wall. Watch the line, watch the line. Is that a broke car? No, he's going. That's gonna put Keith and Eric up a position. Oh, wait. So Dan Stewart in the 1, Keith in the 2, Brian in the 3, Eric in that 4 spot. We're 230 down, 130 to go. Dan Stewart working a dominating lead. He is out front by 20 seconds. He has the fastest lap of the race with a 4.26. Keith, next fastest car on the track, a 4.39. Just 1/10 of a second slower. He is on a 49.402 pace, 20 seconds behind your leader. Brian Hill with 45 seconds left on the clock. He is going to be doing the closest race on the track with Keith. Battle for the 2 spot. They are 3.8 apart. Keith Tishner, he's not all orange and black. Orange wheels down the front stretch, getting the inside on Brian. Brian now 4.5 behind number 2 of Keith Tishner. Oh, Keith's going to spin out. He's going to get stuck on the wall a little bit. This is going to give Keith, or Brian, plenty of room to catch up to him. A 9-second lap for Keith. Brian Hill 1 second behind him with 5 seconds left on the clock. Oh, Brian going to slide out in turn 2. One more lap for these drivers. One more lap. Keep going, keep going.
Eric Mason done.
Keith, you're done. Dan, you're done. Brian and Eric. That is a race. Dan, Keith, Brian, your top 3. Good. All right, if I get 3 racers from that last one back out there. Brian, Keith, and Eric back out to the track. Oh, and we got a volunteer. Thank you, Mr. Bruther, helping us out. All right, let my marshal get to his corner and the track will be open.
Alton Henley. Larry the leader. Matt Simex.
All right. This is heat 2 of 2 for the buggy straight stock class. There were 4 in the last, 3 in this one. You guys are chasing down Dan Stewart's top qualifying time of a 54 and a 4 flat. Matt, Larry, Alton, go ahead and get in your rhythm. We're getting ready to start. So Dan Stewart ran a 4.2 hot lap, 54 lap pace. That is what you're chasing. The race will go live in less than 5. We got Matt, Larry, and Alton. All 3 drivers checked and rolling. First laps being put down by every one of our drivers. We are 15 seconds in, 3:45 to go. So far, we got Alton Henley, Larry Knight, just 1/100th of a second behind him. They are swapping lap by lap. Matt Sinex, 1.2 behind that battle. Both of our leaders, 4.14 from Larry, 4.17 from Alton. Right now, we got Alton on top, Larry on 2. This time by, it's going to be Larry on top, Alton in the 2. 0.3 of a second separating these 2 cars. Larry Knight leading off the pack. We are 1 minute down, 3 left to go. So Larry Knight on a 57.401. That is good enough to reset TQ. Alton Henley, 56.401. He is only 1.1 behind your leader. That is also good enough to reset TQ. So your top 2 drivers in this heat looking to reset. Larry Knight, your leader. He's in that white and light blue. Number 24, yellow wheels down the front stretch, crossing the line there. Alton Henley, 1.2 seconds behind him. He's in the white and blue, number 5, yellow wheels down the back, crossing the line now. That's your number 2 car. 1.3 is the difference. Matt Sinex in that 3 spot. He is 6 seconds behind that battle. He is not on a TQ pace. He's on a 53.402. That's about 1 second off of Dan's pace. It would put him number 4 in the main. 2:15 down, 1:45 left to go. We are just past the halfway point. Larry Knight still leading us off and pulling a gap on Alton. Larry Knight of 4.37. Alton 4.2. 4.2. Dropping that time a little bit. Alton's going to lose that gap. He just built up a 4.4. The gap is now 1.9. Larry Knight trying to pull away in this one. That light blue and white number 24 down the front, crossing the line there. 1 minute left to go. That is 3 minutes down, 1 left. Larry, your leader, 57.403. The pace is dropping. Times are dropping. Pace is getting faster. 57.403.7. This time by, it's going to be with an 8. Crossing the line this time with a 9. Alton Henley in that 2 spot. 2.09 behind your leader. Matt Sinex in that 3 spot. He's on a 53.401. Now 11 seconds behind your leaders. His hot lap of the race is going to be a 4.34. We are coming down on time. Time is running out. 15 left on the clock. Your leader on his 53rd lap. He's on a 57 lap pace. He's going to go around 3 more times. 3 more times that time by. Here comes the bell. Your leader crossing the line next time by. He should be done. It is. Larry, Alton, and Matt. The race is over. Final lap. Larry going to cross with a 56.4 flat. Going to reset top qualifier. Alton Henley, 2.5 seconds behind him. A 56 and a 4.02. And Matt, he's going to be putting himself number 4 overall.
Brian Krebs, Tony Hunton, Eddie Sadler, Matt Hale.
Damn. All right, race number 4, Super Stock Late Model. Get the cars rolling. We are ready to go live. All right, get them spread out. Race will go live. Spread them out, spread them out. Race will go live in less than 5. We got Brian, Matt, Tony, and Eddie. 3 cars already grouping together. Work together, work together. All right, the first 30 seconds down. We have 3:30 left to go. This is your one and only heat of Super Stock Late Model. Your leader is going to be Tony Hunton. He is working a pretty good gap right now. He's on a 48.404. He's going to be that deep red black wheels down the front stretch, crossing the line there. He has 2 seconds over Eddie Sadler. He is the other red car, bright red black wheels down the front, crossing the line. All right. $130 down, $230 left to go. All right. After this race, Matt Hale, I'm going to need you to do something about that front end. It's digging in the track a little bit. We got Tony out front, Eddie in the 2, Brian in the 3, and Matt in that 4 spot. Oh. Two minutes now, 2 minutes left to go. Tony Hunton, your leader.
2 minutes left.
He's got a 13-second lead over Eddie. Eddie's got 9 seconds over Brian. Brian's got 16 over Matt. We got big gaps all the way down the field. No close racing. $245 down, $115 left to go. Your leader, Tony. Leading out front on a 49.401. He's got hot lap of the race by half a second. He ran a 4.6. Eddie, a 5 flat. Brian, a 5 flat. And Matt, a 5 flat. Watch turn 3, go low and 3, go low and 3. Dead car. Watch turn 4, watch turn 4. It's clear. Tony, Eddie, Brian, your top three. We are 3:45 down, 15 left to go. Your leader going to go around three more times now. Him and Eddie, 25 seconds apart. Eddie and Brian, 18 seconds apart. Here comes the bell. Final lap for your leader. Tony, you are done. Brian, you are done. And Eddie, you are done. That's a race.
All drivers are finished. The race is completed.
All right, no laps.
Justin Fay.
Let me get my cars out, my marshals out there. I need one more. One more from that last race. All right, we are covered. All right, let's get him checked in.
Austin Thompson. Nick Olinghouse.
All right, all cars are checked in. We are ready to race. Race will go live in less than 5. We got Austin, Nick, and Justin live across the line. This is heat 1 of 2. Out to race. Justin Fay leading them off. He's on a 44 and a 4 flat across the line there. A 5.3 is his lap. Hot lap of the race does go to your leader so far. A 5.14. Austin in the 2, Nick in the 3. Justin out front, your leader. He's in that light blue and black. Going to be number 31 out front. He's on a 46.402. He's got 4 seconds over Nick and 3 seconds over Austin. So we have some pretty big gaps. Cars are starting to lap each other. Justin now 1 lap over Nick. Just then, your leader going to throw down a new hot lap of the race, a 5.08. He's on a 46.401 and stretching that gap out from first to second. Justin and Nick now 10 seconds apart. Nick and Austin now 2.5 apart. Ooh, Austin with a little mistake. Going to lose about a second. He's now a 3.6 behind Nick. Two minutes down, 2 minutes left to go. We are halfway down, halfway left to go.
2 minutes left.
Ooh, Austin gonna dive a little too hard. Rolls the pipe and flips the car over. He's gonna find his wheels though. Your leader, Justin Fay, 46 and a 403. 10 seconds over Nick. Another 10 seconds back is Austin. Nick going to throw down the next fastest lap of the race, a 5.27. Only 0.2 of a second off of Justin's hot lap. They are 11 seconds apart. Justin with a 5-1. That time by with a 5-4. Backs it up this time, a 5.2 from your leader. Nick crossing the line, a 5-4. This time by a 5-6. Austin gonna cross with a 5.5.
1 minute left.
We are 3 minutes down, 1 minute left to go. Your leader, Justin Fay. He's in that light blue and black chrome wheels coming down the front stretch. Crossing the line now in that 2 spot. You've got the all green and black Traxxas body. That is Nick. He is 13 seconds behind the leader. And holding down that second place position. Another 16 seconds back is going to be Austin Thompson. He is in that all blue, black top, black wheels crossing the line. We got 5 seconds left on the clock. Your leader going to go around for 2 more laps. 2 more laps now. That's the bell. Next time by, your leaders will be done. Keep going, keep going. Everyone keep going.
Justin Fay done. Austin Thompson done. All drivers are finished.
Race is over.
Race is complete.
Justin gonna win this one. A 46 and a 4:04. Nick in that 2 spot, 15 seconds behind him. And Austin in the 3. All right, I am missing a marshal. Can I get one volunteer out to the track? Volunteer. Thank you, Doug. All right, get the cars checked in. Get the cars checked
Alton
in.
Henley. Max Mason. Lewis Shelton.
All right, everyone getting their cars checked in. It's going. You are chasing down Justin Fay's top qualifying time of a 46 and a 4:04. He ran a hot lap of a 5.1. Get the cars rolling. Get the cars rolling. Get them spread out. The race. The race will go live in less than 5. We got Alton, Louie, Max, and Tony. All 4 racers checked and rolling. All 4 of them throwing down their first laps. Going off of lap number 2 so far, we got Alton Henley on top. Louie in the 2, Max in the 3, and Tony in the 4. 1 through 3, separated by half a second. In that 4th spot, we got Tony Hunton. He is 1.3 behind that battle for the 1 spot. So Justin threw down a top qualifying time of a 46.404. This time in this race, we got Alton Henley, Louis Shelton, and Max, all 3 of them on a 47-lap pace. They are looking to outdo his TQ time. Alton Henley on a 48.403 that time by. He has half a second over Louis. That time by, Louis going to throw down a 4.9. Alton going to strike back a 4.9 of his own. A little bit faster. 4.980. Louis 4.986. Oh, Alton with a second long bobble. It's going to put him back to the 2 spot. Half a second between these drivers. Alton Henley on 4.96. New hot lap. Going to get him a little bit closer to that top position. The difference, 0.6. Max Mason in the 3. He is 4 seconds behind that battle. Tony Hunton in that 4 spot, 8 seconds behind that battle. We are 2 minutes down, 2 minutes left to go. Your leaders down the backstretch. You got Alton Henley in that 2 spot, leading out the pack. He's in the stars and stripes, all white, number 14. Down the front stretch, crossing the line. He is 0.2 of a second behind your leader. Your leader going to be Louis Shelton, the brown, white, and silver, number 8. Down the front stretch now, holding the lead by 1/100th of a second. Now 300ths that time. Both of them throwing down a 5 flat lap time. Louis a 5.17. Alton a 5.05. Alton, all white, number 14, crossing the line there. Going to be taking over the lead spot. Louis going to take it right back, a 5.07, 2/100ths of a second faster. Louis Shelton going to throw down a 5.3. Alton also going to throw down a 5.3. 2 of our slower laps from these drivers. Going to unsettle them a bit. With 1 minute left. Oh, we're going to throw it down in turn 2. Caution in 2. It's going to put the 3 spot. So now we got Alton Henley in the 1, Max in the 2, Tony in the 3, and Louis in that 4. Never mind. Louis in the 3, Tony in the 4. So, Alton Henley and Max Mason, the only 2 cars looking to do better than Justin's TQ time. 3:40 down, 20 seconds left on the clock. Alton Henley on a 47.402. Max Mason on a 46.403. He is 1/10 of a second faster than Justin's TQ pace. He is on it. He needs to hold it for 5 more seconds. Your leader's going by for 1 more lap. Max, keep going. Max, keep going. Alton, you are done. Louis, you are done. Tony and Max cross the line. Tony and Max. Tony crossed the line.
Tony Hunton done. All drivers are finished. The race is completed. Down. James Brother. Dan Stewart. Brian Hill. Matt Sinex.
All right. So for the 13.5
Keith Titchener.
for the slash late model class, Alden Henley going to reset top qualifier. Looks like Max Mason going to beat out Justin Phase Time. Max going to be in that 2 spot. Justin's going to be in the 3 overall. Nice driving, guys. 13.5 late model. Buggies up now. We got Matt, Brian, Keith, Dan, James, and Doug. Go ahead and get them out. We got 6 racers on the track. Keep them clean. You guys, you all know who the faster guys are usually. Make sure to work with each other. Get them spread out. All right, get them rolling, get them rolling. Let's get them spread out. Oh, wait. Yeah. All right, race will go live in less than 5. All my cars are checked and rolling, putting down their first laps. Oh, caution on the back. Go low, go low. It's clear. 20 seconds in. We have Doug out front, Dan in the 2, James in the 3, Keith 4, Matt 5, Brian 6. Your leader, Doug Townsend, on a 56.403. He's got 1.6 over James Bruder now. Going to throw down his hot lap of 4.3. Doug Townsend, fastest car on the track by quite a bit. Ran a 4.16. Next fastest car is James Bruder, 4.33. Keith Titchener, all the way back in that 4th spot, going to throw down a 4.2. So 1:15 down, 2:45 to go. Doug Townsend, your leader, on a 55.4 flat. He's in that all black and white. Black wheels crossing the line there. Down the backstretch he goes. Turns 3 and 4, crossing the line. A 4.3. James Bruder in that 2 spot. He's in that white and black as well. A little bit of red trim in there. Crossing the line there. 4.444. He is 2.5 behind our leader. Going to throw down his new hot lap of the race of 4.29. Dan Stewart in the 3. 5 seconds behind James. In that 4th spot, we got Matt Sinex, just ran a 4.3 himself. He is 1 second behind Dan.
2 minutes left.
And in the back of the pack, we got Matt Sinex, 1/10 of a second off of Keith. So 2:50 down, 1:45 left to go. This is your final qualifying heat of the night. Doug Townsend, open track in front of him. He's going to be coming up on some cars here in a couple laps. He's on a 55.4 flat. Oh, James going to get it wrong on the right side. He has a pretty big gap. Back to Keith. Lost about 7/10. He is left with 6 seconds over Keith Titchener now. Dan Stewart, closest race on the track. He's going to be pulling over on the front stretch, getting back in the line. Dan Stewart in that 4th spot. He is half a second off of Sinex. Sinex is 2 seconds off of Keith.
1 minute left.
And Keith is 5 seconds off of James. So pretty big gaps towards the top of the pack. Doug on a 55, James on a 53, Keith on a 52, and Matt on a 51. 3:20 down. 3:25 down, 35 seconds left on the clock. Your leader still working at 55 lap pace. Now with a gap of 4 seconds back to James. James has 6 seconds over Keith. That is your top 3. Keith Tishner going to be in that 3rd place position. Crossing the line there. He's going to be in that orange and black. Oh, crashing in turn 4. Going to get back on his wheels. It might give Dan Stewart. It does. Dan Stewart going to be moving up to the 3 spot that time by with 3 seconds on the clock. Everybody going by for 2 more laps. Keep going. Keep on going till I say you're done.
Matt's next done.
Dan,
Dan
Matt,
done.
Doug,
James brother done.
That is a race.
All drivers
That is
are
a
finished.
race.
The race is completed.
Doug Townsend going to take that one on a 54.402. Lost his gap there at the very end. He beat James by 1 second. Dan Stewart in that 3 spot. I'm going to hurt you. I don't know yet. I need you to name. No, don't do that. Don't do that. All right. It is 7:50. There will be 20 minutes of open track practice. 20 minutes of open track practice. We will shut it down at 8:10 and start racing at 8:15. I will repeat that one more time. It is 8:50 or 7:50. Practice for 20 minutes. Shut it down at 8:10. Race at 8:15. We are rolling up on 8:15. It's about just over a minute for my racers to get out here. Yeah. If I don't catch it, okay. All right, I need my marshals out here. My racers, Keith Tishner, Brian Hill, and Eric Mason out to the track. I need my marshals from race number 7, Alton, Max, Justin, and Louie.
Brian Hill. Keith Titchener. Eric Mason.
Let's get them lined up. We got Keith on the 1, Brian on the 2, Eric on the 3. Whenever you are ready, Keith, you are leading them around. We'll go live out of turn 4. That's the bell. All 3 cars crossing. First turn out. Eric going to take the inside of Brian. Brian going to force his way back in there. Nice moves. Eric that time by going to take it back. Now they are going to be running laps. Oh, Keith starting to build quite the gap. Going to slide out in turn 1. Now facing the back of the pack. Brian and Eric in the bump positions. 30 seconds down, 3:30 left to go. Keith going to dart up the inside of Eric. Now Keith going to get around Brian. Keith back out front. Brian going to bump the wall. Going to have a big crash. Going to put him back to the 3 spot. Eric now up into the 2. Brian trying to get around these drivers. Ooh, now Eric starting to catch a little bit of time up on Keith. The gap is 2 seconds between 1 and 2 spot. Keith, the faster of the two drivers, having a little bit of trouble keeping that car on its wheels. 130 down, 230 left to go. Your leader, all orange, black top, orange wheels out front, crossing the line there. He's got a 3-second lead. Now going to be a little bit longer over Eric Mason. 4.5 seconds is the difference. Brian Hill in that 3 spot. He is 3 seconds behind Eric. Sounds like that car has a bearing going out. 2 minutes down, 2 minutes left to go. Your leader on a 49-lap pace. Eric, 1 lap. Eric has now been lapped by the leader, Brian Hill, trying to make his way up into that bump position. He's in the 3, trying to make his way up to the 2. The gap is now 1.6. He's been dropping that time. Eric with a 4.9. Brian with a 5.2, one of his slower laps. 5.2 from Eric, 4.7 from Brian. The gap is now 1.3 seconds. Brian a 4.6. 1 second is the difference. Brian is pulling him in. Eric starting to push a little wide off the corner. 250 down, 110 to go. Keith having a little bobble of his own. Just needs to keep it on the wheels. He has 4 seconds over Eric. Or 3 seconds over Eric.
1 minute left.
Brian Hill with 1 minute left on the clock makes the inside move. Lets Eric have it back. Didn't quite have the exit speed. He is looking for a pass in the final 45 seconds. These drivers have about 10 laps to get it over with. Brian going to dive bomb the inside. Takes it over. Oh, Eric going to get into him. Powers out of the corner. 30 seconds left on the clock. Brian Hill going to take back that 2 spot. Eric falling back to the 3. With 15 seconds left on the clock, Keith and Brian 6 seconds apart. Brian and Eric 2 seconds apart. 5 seconds left now. They're going to go by for one more lap. One more lap. Brian, you are done. Eric and Keith, you are done. That's a race.
Keith Titchener done.
Keith and Brian going to be our bumps to the A main.
Tony Hunton. Nick Owenhouse.
Get the cars rolling. Get the cars rolling.
Austin Thompson.
Shut it down, shut it down. No more laps. Shut down the front stretch. We got Nick on the 1, Tony on the 2, Austin on the 3 spot. One behind the other. One slow, smooth lap. Out of turn 4, you will go full speed. Whenever you're ready, Nick, you're leading them off. Going into turn 3 now. Out of turn 4, they go live. Nick out front, still holding that top spot from where he started. Tony looking high, going low this time by, gonna get it. Your leader, Tony Hutton, got the move on Nick last time by. He's overdriving the corners a little bit. Needs to calm down and run smooth lines. He's got the fastest car on the track of 5.24. Nick of 5.3. Austin 5.5. We are 45 seconds down. 3:15 to go. All right, the 1 minute mark has been achieved. 3 minutes left to go. Tony out front. He's in that deep red chrome wheels going down the front. Crossing the line there. He's on a 44 lap pace. Nick, 1 second behind him. Gonna throw down a hot lap of 5.27. Only 5 hundredths slower than Tony's hot lap. Austin in that 3 spot. Looking to get a lap now. Had a long lap that time by. The 1-2 car. Tony and Nick now 1.8 apart. Tony with a 5.5. Nick with a 5.5. The difference is a 1.7 gap. Austin 6 seconds behind Nick. Oh, Nick gonna roll it over in turn 4. He's gonna lose precious time on Tony.
2
Austin
minutes left.
gonna start catching up. Tony and Nick now 1 lap apart. Tony gonna put the lap on Nick. Nick's gonna lose that extra lap he had on Austin. Austin is only 4 seconds behind him now, with 1:30 left on the clock. Tony, Nick, and Austin, your top 3. Tony gonna reset hot lap. A faster 5.204. He's on a 45 lap pace. He's got 7 seconds over Nick. Nick has 5 seconds over Austin. Nick is looking to put a lap on him. We are 3 minutes down. We are working the final quarter of this race. Oh, looks like Tony gonna get it wrong. Nick's gonna get back on the same lap as him. Tony ran an 8-second lap, this time by a 5.3. Nick a 5.5. Those 2 cars gonna get it mixed up on each other. Both of them 7-second laps. A 5.18 from Tony. Fastest lap of the race. Backs it up with another 5.2. With 20 seconds left on the clock. Time is winding down. Everybody on their own lap. Next time by, all of our racers will be finished.
Tony Hutton done. Austin
That's a
Thompson
race.
done.
That is a
Nick
race.
Rittenhouse done.
Tony,
All drivers are
Nick,
finished.
and Austin.
The race is completed.
All right, do we have that transponder fixed? Looking for David. Cross that white line for me. Oh, it works.
Scarlett Watzbach.
All right, Tony, you got down there. Nick, you have this end of the track. All right, get them checked in. Take a couple practice laps.
David Recruital.
All right, let's shut it down. Let's shut it down. All right, my racers are ready. My marshals are ready. Ryan, go ahead and roll them off. Scarlett followed close behind him. All right, out of turn 4. These cars will be live. There they go. So Ryan getting a good start. Scarlett starting to run away from David. Oh, caution on the front. David getting ran over and turned over. So in that one spot, we have the late model deep blue chrome wheels. Ryan Hahn running a 5.5 fast lap. In that 2 spot, we got Scarlett. She's in that pink and black, little bit of silver in there. Pink bumper, chrome wheels. That is your number 2. She is in that number 2 spot behind Ryan. Ryan gonna take the low side and fly right underneath her. David in that 3 spot, fixing some trims on the radio. He's going to be working that number 3 spot in the all blue and black. Little bit of red on the wheels and trim. We are 1:15 down, 2:45 to go. Your leader on a 40-lap pace. Going to take the inside on Scarlett. Scarlett in that pink and black. Going a little high. 31 lap pace for Scarlett in that number 2 spot. Crossing the line there. So Ryan Hahn threw down a 37.405 in qualifying. This time around, he's on a 40-lap pace. He has the fastest car on track. He set a 5.5 second lap. Scarlett set the second fastest lap.
2 minutes left.
So Ryan with hot lap of the race. He set a 5.5 second lap. Scarlett in that 2 spot. She set a 7.39. And David experiencing some issues on the radio. He's going to be pulling off the track. That leaves just Ryan and Scarlett. 1 and 2 going to be going on the podium. With 2:30 down, we've got 1:30 left on the clock. Ryan getting around the inside. Crossing the line down the backstretch. Turns 3 and 4. Your leader. Crossing the line there. A 5.5 second lap. Scarlett jumping the pipe. That pink and black truck putting in work.
1 minute left.
Hitting all the corners, hitting all her marks. She's driving a pretty clean race for one of her first times down here, I believe. 3:15 down, 45 left on the clock. Your leader, Ryan, throwing down a 5.9. Scarlett crossing the line there in 8.3. She has been full pin the entire race. She has not let out of the gas once. 3:45 down, 15 seconds left. Ryan and Scarlett 10 seconds away from their podiums. Ryan on lap 38. He's on a 40-lap pace. They're going to go by one more time. Oh, Scarlett going down. Ryan gets to the side of her. One more lap. Cross the line. You will be done.
Scarlett Rotzbach done.
That is a race.
Ryan
Race
done.
is over.
All drivers are finished. The race is completed.
All right, I need 2 volunteers out to the track. 2 volunteers to help me with this one. Thank you very much. All right, get them rolling, get them rolling.
Alton Henley. Larry the leader. Brian Hill. Keith Titchener. Matt Sinex.
All right, no more laps. No more laps. If you have any last-minute changes, now is the time to do it. All right, no takers. Let's get them lined up. Larry on the 1, Alton on the 2, Dan 3, Matt Sinex 4, Keith 5, and Brian Hill on the 6. I don't have my glasses on. All right, all 4 of my corners are covered. All of my drivers are on the track. Larry Knight, the white and blue, number 14, leading us off. Down the backstretch they go, one behind the other. Out of turn 4, they go live. All right, that's a good start. Larry Knight out front. He's got Alton Henley close into looking for the inside. Gets it done faster down the straightaway, faster out of the corner. Alton taking the wide line. Larry trying to find the inside on him. All the while, they are battling. We got Dan Stewart trying to get up there in the mix. Matt Sinex in 4, Keith Titchener in 5. Oh, caution down the front. Had a crash car on the front. Gonna catch Alton Henley. Now, 1 lap down in that 4 spot. Wow. Wow. One minute down, 3 left to go. Dan, Matt, Larry, Keith, Alton, Brian. That is your running order. We have Dan Stewart leading off this race. Matt Sinex in the 2. Larry Knight in the 3. So Dan, he's out front. He's that light blue, number 26, down the front, crossing the line there. He's got Larry Knight 2 seconds behind him. That is half the track. Larry Knight, hot lap of the night, 4.17. Dan Stewart with a 4.3. And Matt with a 4.2. Alton with a 4.18. We have 1:30 down. 2:30 left on the clock. Dan Stewart down the front stretch. Down the front stretch now. He's got Larry Knight getting to the inside of him. Nice move by Larry. Bumping bodies. Matt Sinex in that 3 spot. He is 2.5 behind him. Alton Henley 1 lap behind Matt. He's got some work to do.
2 minutes left.
So 2 minutes down, 2 minutes left to go. Larry, Dan, Matt, Alton. Closest race on the track. Battle for the 1 spot. 0.8 of a second. Oh, looks like Matt getting a little squirrely up there in the wall. Gonna give Alton a little bit of time to make his way up to the podium. Matt holding down that 3 spot. He's now got 1.8 over Alton. This time by dropping 0.3. Alton went 4.2. Matt went 4.5. The gap is now 1.3. Alton is catching, reeling him in. Matt getting a little squirrely in turn 2. Oh, here comes Alton crossing the line there. White and blue, number 5, yellow wheels, looking to make his way onto the podium. This is your closest race right now. Half a second is the difference. And closing. We got light gray, white wheels of Matt Sinex. Dan Stewart is in between that battle. He is in that 2 spot behind Larry. Dan's going to go high, let Alton in. Thank you very much. Larry Knight looking to lap the field. Gets it done. He is now in front of Dan Stewart. Here comes Alton. Half a second is the difference. This time by still 0.5. We got 30 seconds on the clock. Matt hitting his marks perfectly. Oh, just as I say it, tags the wall, lose a little bit of time. Here comes Alton to the inside. Matt a little high. Alton goes down low, hits the line perfect. Now in that 3 spot with 5 seconds on the clock, they're going by. They're going to hit the line this time by to the line. Alton Henley gonna get it.
Matt Sinex done.
Matt Sinex down to the 4th spot.
Done.
1/10 of a second was the difference.
The race is completed.
Larry Knight out front, gonna win this race by 6 seconds over Dan Stewart. Dan Stewart had 3 seconds over that battle for third. Larry, Dan, Alton, your top 3. I need 4 of my racers back out to the track. 4 of my racers back out to the track. If you are racing 13.5 late model, I understand. I will give you a little bit of time to get ready. Right now, I need you out here to flip cars.
Matt Hale. Brian Krebs. Eddie Sadler.
All right. No more laps. No more laps. No more laps. Brian, is there any way we can stiffen that body up? It's kind of digging in the track a little bit. If we can raise it or lock it up, cut it off a little bit. We cannot have it digging in the track like that. kind of gay. All right, let's get him rolling. Tony, can you check in for me?
Tony Hunton.
All right, front stretch closed. Let's get them lined up. We got Tony on the 1, Eddie on the 2, and Matt Hale on the 3. Whenever you are ready, Tony, you are leading them off. That deep red black wheel's leading us off out of turn 4. They are live. Eddie right on his tail off the bat. Oh, Matt getting real squirrely. Looks like Matt gonna pull off for the first couple laps. Gonna let Tony and Eddie race it out. Holy. 30 seconds down, 3:30 left to go. We got Tony out front with a 4.7 lap. Eddie, 3 seconds behind him. Oh, Tony gonna get it wrong. Hits the pipe. Gets a little squirrely. Gonna let Eddie catch up to him. Drops about a second. Oh, crash car at the line. Tony gonna lose a little bit more time. That deep red black wheels of Tony on a 44 lap pace. Tony completely turned around. Gonna give Eddie the lead spot. Eddie in that bright red black wheels, blue bumper down the front stretch, crossing the line there on a 43 lap pace. Tony gonna throw down hot lap of 4.7, 1/7 of a second apart. This time by 0.4 of a second is the split. Down the inside, Tony gonna get it on him. Eddie gonna try to shut the door, can't do it. Cuts it a little too tight and rolls it over. He's gonna find his wheels. Still a big loss of time. Tony, though, out here slamming down the hot laps of 4.6. Backs it up with another 4.6. His car is getting faster. Eddie, his hot lap is only a 5.2. Matt threw down a 5.1.
2 minutes left.
2 minutes down, 2 minutes left to go. Your leader, Tony, he threw down a 49 lap run in qualifying. This time around in the main event, he's on a 45 lap pace. He has hot lap for the class of 4.65. Eddie in that 2 spot, 5 seconds behind our leader. He just threw down his faster lap of 5.243 that time by. Matt in the 3 spot, working a 6.5 second lap. Oh, Tony gonna get in the backside of Eddie, gonna flip him over. They are racing 1 lap apart. Oh my God.
1 minute left.
Watch the front stretch, watch the front. Go low down the front. Oh, Alton is slow. Terrible Marshall. With 30 seconds left on the clock. That's 3:30 down, 30 left on the clock. Tony on a 43 lap run closes up. Eddie 2 seconds behind him. He has no room for mistakes. Has to keep it clean for the final 15 here. That time by another hot lap from Tony, a 4.9. Eddie, a 5.3. The gap is spreading. With 5 seconds on the clock, they're going to go by one more time. This is their final lap. Eddie crosses, Tony crosses, and Matt's gonna cross. That's a race.
All drivers are finished. The race is concluded.
I need a marshal for Eddie Sadler and Brian Krebs. I have Tony and Matt out here. This is a 6-car A-Main 13.5 late model. We got Doug taking TQ. 54 and a 4.02 was his pace. James Bruther in the 2. Dan 3. Keith 4. Matt 5. Brian 6. Let's get some practice laps going. I need one volunteer in turn 3 if I can get any help.
Brian Hill.
Any help at all would be very awesome.
Matt Sinex. Keith Titchener.
I need just one volunteer marshal. Maybe someone who has finished their racing already. Woo.
Holy.
All right, let's shut it down. No more laps. If you have any changes, now is the time to do so. Any small, quick adjustments to your radio or small adjustments on your suspension. I need one volunteer in turn 3. One person to help out. If you are done with racing or have a break, please come out to help in turn 3. All right, let's shut it down. Shut it down. No more laps. Line them up. Ooh, thank you very much, Ryan. Appreciate you. All right, your fastest driver tonight, Doug Townsend, leading us off. James in the 2, Dan in the 3, Keith 4, Matt 5, Brian 6. You guys know the rules. You know who the fast guys are. I will be calling names. Please move over for your leaders. It is a 6-car packed heat. Whenever you're ready, Doug, you are leading them off. All black and white. Down the backstretch he goes. Out of turn 4. He is live. James Bruther in 2, Dan in 3, Keith 4. As they started, they are still going. Oh, Keith going to check out of turn 3. Keith going to get his position back. Brian Hill about to lose his to Matt Sinex. Oh, your leader clipping the pipe, going up on 2 wheels. Here comes James. James going to get the outside line. Oh, no. Brian, that was your leader. Oh, my. 45 seconds down, 3:15 left to go. Doug Townsend leading us off. Down the front stretch he goes, black and white. In the 2 spot is now Keith Tishner. Dan Stewart getting put back to the 2 spot after a big rollover in the 3 corner. Now, orange and black, number 14. All going wide in the 3 corner, leaving it wide open for Dan. Keith, next 2 corners later, going to give Dan a little bit of a bump, going to spin him around. A little bit of a NASCAR move. 130 down, 230 left to go. Doug Townsend, 4-second lead over Keith. And stretching. Doug with a 4.16 hot lap. He is 1.3 tenths of a second faster than anyone on the track. A 0.13. Doug is on a 52-lap run. Keith on a 51-lap run. The difference is 2 seconds. 1.8 now. Doug with a 4.4. Keith with a 4.4. Crossing the line there. A 4.6 from your leader. Keith a 5.2. The gap is going to stretch. Matt Sinex up into that 3 spot now. Didn't see that. We have blue and red Valvoline car going a little high. The number 1 goes high. Gives the inside to Dan Stewart. That is your final podium position. 230 down, 130 left. Dan Stewart, the blue and red, number 26. Oh, your leader's getting caught up. That's going to mix everything around. Doug Townsend had 1 lap over him. Him and Keith going to get caught on each other. Going to cause Keith to lose his position. Dan in the 2. Keith now in that 3 spot. And Matt just half a second behind him.
1 minute left.
Looks like Matt's car struggling to find a little bit of steering. The front wheels are pushing. 3:15 down, 45 seconds left. Your leader, black and white, trying to hold off Dan Stewart. The gap is 3 seconds. Oh, Dan going to crash. He's going to re-enter the track. .330 down, 30 left on the clock. Doug, Dan, Keith, your race. That is your top 3. Matt Sinex in the 4 spot. He is falling back. He's dropping about 2 tenths every lap. Oh, Keith with a big crash on the backside. Here comes Matt Sinex. Watch the crashes on that last lap. Everything's closing up. Keith crashed out. Gonna give Matt that number 3 spot. Matt, the Valvoline number 1. Final lap by Keith. Going to the inside. Gonna hit the pipe and roll it over. Gonna lose the position. To the 4 spot he goes.
Keith Titchener done.
That is a race.
All drivers are finished. The race is complete.
Doug, Dan, Matt, your top 3. All right, I had 6 racers in that last one. I need 4 of them back out here to flip cars. 4 of them back out here. We have a full race of Slash late models. Track is not open. Let my marshals get out there. All right, my marshals are in their corners. The track is open.
Justin Fay. Alton Henley. Max Mason. Lewis Shelton. Tony
Nick,
Hutton.
your truck is broken. Nick, the truck is broken. Yeah. All right. Alton Henley, your leader, going to be starting on that one spot. Max in the 2, Justin in the 3, Louie 4, Tony in that final 5 position. So Tony coming from the B main, going to see what he can do in the A. Alton, you are rolling them off. All right, slow down. Let's close it up. Out of turn 4. Very nice. Alton, Max, Justin, Louie, Tony. All 5 of our racers are going. Max having a little mistake on the left side of the track. He's going to lose 2 positions. Justin and Louie going to make their way to those podium positions. 30 seconds down, 3:30 left. Alton Henley leading us off. He's got a 5-second fast lap. Justin with a 4.9. Louie with a 5.0. Oh, he's going a little high in turn 4. Losing half a second to Justin. That time by Alton Henley. Number 14, Stars and Stripes. Crossing the line. A 5 flat. Justin a 5.1. Louie a 5.2. Your top 3 cars in a train. Tony, they are coming up on you. You have the number 2 and 3 coming up on you as well. Oh, Louie going to get to the inside of Justin. Nice move. Louie, the brown, white, and silver, number 8, crossing the line there. 1.3 behind Alton. This time by, going to be 1.5 behind Alton. Alton just ran his hot lap of the race, a 4.9. Backs it up with a 5.3. He is 1.3. That is the difference. 135 down, 225 left to go. Your leader, Alton Henley. He's got 1.5 over Louie. The gap is stretching. That time by, Louie going to run a 5 flag, going to drop it back down. A 5.1 from Louie. Here comes Justin, not too far back. Max Mason now 1 lap behind these guys.
2 minutes left.
So, Max, you have another leader coming up on you. Give him room. Thank you very much. Alton, Louie, Justin, your top 3. All right. Tony, that is a top 3 car. Oh, Justin going to get it wrong. So, your top 3 all on the same lap. Max and Tony working the laps of their own. Alton coming up on some lap traffic. They're giving him all the room he needs. 240 down, 120 left on the clock. Nice driving from your leader, keeping it clean, keeping it on his wheels. Running super fast laps while he does it. A 5 flat that time. Another 5 flat. Louie, 5.2, 5.1. That's 3/10 lost. Alton, back to back to back to back. 5.0s. Louis, a 5.6 that time by. Backs it up with a 5.1. The difference is now 3 seconds. Another 3 seconds back is going to be Justin after his rollover mistake. 3:20 down, 40 left on the clock. Your leader, Alden Henley, he's on a 48-lap pace. He's on lap 40 now. He's got about 7 to 8 laps left in him. He's making great time, running good laps. He's on a 48.404. That is faster than his TQ time by 1 lap. Louis Shelton, 3 seconds behind him, almost exactly. Justin, 3.6 behind him. We got big gaps and no more time. 5 seconds on the clock. That is 1 more lap. Next time by, you will be done.
Tony Hunton done.
Tony, Justin,
done.
Louis, Max
Shelton
Alton.
done.
That is a
Matt
race.
Mason done.
Race is over.
All drivers are finished. The race is concluded.
Alton Henley gonna go tone to tone. A 48 and a 404 hot lap 4.9. Louis Shelton 3.6 behind him. Justin Fay 3.8 behind Louis. That was a good race. All right, so no more racing. It is. I'll give you a couple laps. You can do this battery. No more drivers out to the track.